through the magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future, Transformers Slag Podcast. What's up, everybody? How we all doing? This Saturday night, it's the Transformers Slag Podcast Saturday Night Livestream main event. I'm your host, Protoman. I am the face that runs this place. I'm the voice you hear Monday to Wednesday. I'll explain in a moment. Probably some people were wondering, what happened Thursday, Friday? No podcast segments. We had some power failures. It's our first major snow. And, when it snows in Canada, especially here. And so we had on and off power both those days. And it was just one of these things. I'm going to edit something or I record something, then I lose it, and then I get it back. So needless to say, it wasn't good. So that's why we didn't have any segments on Thursday and Friday. But otherwise, still some good news. We recorded a brand new segment of the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. So that'll be coming this week. So you'll have a brand new segment on his channel. So expect that really soon. Nice little segment, about 30 to 40-minute segment about some robots in disguise we were talking about. So be sure to check that out when it comes. But otherwise, thank you for once again tuning in on the Transformers Slag Podcast Saturday Night live stream. We're going to recap the very little bit of news that we have today. Is that a Trinidad and Tobago flag? That looks familiar. Either way, kind of looked at the chat quickly. I was like, that looks familiar. I see it in Jaws D's home all the time. Anyways, so we're going to cover the news. We're going to give a shout out to some of the sponsors. We have some giveaways again today. Again, it is the month of December. So once again, here on the podcast, we celebrate and reward our patrons and our YouTube members, which are either, the green names on the side, but also the Patreon people. You know who they are. We have our mod John, who's also keeping track of that. And we're going to be doing more giveaways. We're going to be doing more giveaways today, some more good stuff. Again, a good diverse mixture of little things of Transformers. It's not just all brand new, Legacy United product. We're going to have a little bit of everything that we're giving away all throughout the month, because not everyone wants to have the new stuff. Maybe they want some of the old stuff. Maybe they want some of this. A little bit of everything. So who's in the chat? Let's take a look. Mayoral Fabrication, what's up? We got Patrick Brown. We got Rudy Mack. We got Prince of Phalanx 59. We get to the other screen here. Mike Prime 21, one of our new members as of last week. We got James, who won stuff last week. Good, congrats to you, James. Talib, Ylag Y, Bigum. I want to make sure I'm not missing nobody. Modutron. If I missed somebody, I apologize. Horned Owl, also I believe someone who won last week. I know John's keeping track of all of that so that we don't get repeats. T-Formers 2002 is here. Ashnud. Everyone's popping in. Tame Tyrant. I can't pronounce that person's name. Have 1C Demo? D-Emo. Twins Corner. What's up, Twins? Good to see you guys there. Star Max, who's one of my patrons. Star Warrior, one of my patrons. Time of the End. Everyone's slowly piling in. So then, let's cover some news. Got some stuff here to cover, and then we'll open it up to some super chats. We'll give a sponsorship shout out. We'll do some giveaways. We'll talk about two little things I got this week, which are pretty hype, and then some. Orlando Chavez, what's up? So first we're going to cover this one here. Hopefully we get some better images of this. I find it, us as Transformer fans, we're so hip. I don't even know how to pronounce it. When we get stuff, we get, good images. Like if we had a Minton box figure, we'd have a nice Minton box figure shot. But we just got this silly, half kind of blurry image of what potentially is the next basic scale mainline Hot Wheels Transformer crossover product through Mattel. We already had the Bumblebee, we had the gold variant, we had the Track Fleet Optimus, we had the Track Fleet Ultra Magnus, we had that special edition Mattel Creations Optimus. We had that whole line of movie subline Mattel Hot Wheels stuff. And now we have potentially this coming out, which is, from what I was told by Hot Wheels collectors, is actually a completely different tooling. And yeah, okay, the wheels look different, and the smokestacks are black instead of silver from the Track Fleet one, and the blue is a different color on the back end. But I mean, maybe I'm missing something here. But they say, like, usually when they do stuff in the basic scale, they do a whole new kind of tooling for it. So very, very interesting. Very interesting. Horned Owl. Yep, I received my Super 7 bombshell on Wednesday. Thanks, Proto, and thanks, Mikey Louie. Well, awesome. Fantastic. Already people are starting to get their prizes in the mail faster than expected. But so yeah, so this is the individual release. We have on the top right there, that's the Track Fleet version. So if you want a side by side there to kind of compare one is to the other. I mean, I think the Track Fleet one kind of looks better, but I like the silver smokestacks. Maybe the wheels on the singular one look nicer, but you could pop those off and switch them if you know how to customize Hot Wheels. So, but looks good. Again, if it's the main line, it's going to be in that 118, 119 kind of price point, 117 if you're in Walmart, because they always like to end everything with 7 over there. So, yeah, this is going to be a thing. Check it out. I have yet to, and I have literally been checking every single week. I have yet to see a single Hot Wheels Transformer product. I don't know if I'm just missing out on it, and the Hot Wheels collectors locally here are just getting to them first, or if you know, or if they just haven't popped up here in Quebec yet. Hopefully I could get something. I'd like to, if I could get one so far. The Track Fleet Optimus or the Ultra Magnus, those are pretty cool. I dig those. Those look nice. What's up, Cringe? Will, Fawnhart, James, and Tom, and Larry's here too. Everyone's here. Everyone's popping in. So yeah, so check that out. I mean, this was taken from a case assortment that was from the factory, so it probably means it's not too far off from it showing up in retail anytime soon. But yeah, give it a go. Check it out. Don't you know? Uh, yeah, what do we got here? Okay, next up, and then we got these. This one, I get this feeling that we're going to probably be learning about more of this like in the next couple of weeks because it's slowly all trickling out. But Transformers Cyberworld, we finally got the price points that are associated now with the previous listings that we got before, as well as one new item that we didn't have from when we talked about this. Oh gosh, I feel like it was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So now we know that there's going to be a Cyber Changer price point at the $14.99, which is probably going to be our mainline deluxe price point. The armor or armored, the vernacular changes between where you look on the listings, but armored Cyber Changers at the $20 price point, the ultimate Cyber Changers at the $40 price point, some kind of big, dare I say, Chomp and Stomp Grimlock, in this case, Chomp and Battle Grimlock at the $50 price point, and some wacky $100 thing, which I still believe that we're missing something here. I think this might be an error or something. That might be cheaper than that. This Scorponok that's at this $100 price point. So, I mean, hey, we're still learning about this line. Again, this is going to be kind of what's going to be after Earthspark. All we know is it's going to have an Optimus, it's going to have a Mirage, it's going to have a Snarl, it's going to have a Megatron, it's going to have a Skybite, it's going to have supposedly a Galvatron, a Grimlock, and a Scorponok. So we'll keep you posted on all of this, and we'll see what's having with all of it too, and what's popping, because everything's vague still right now. I mean, the whole reason why we even know about Cyberworld really was leaked slides from Hasbro that weren't supposed to get out there, that were kind of confirming, the end of certain things and everything. But we'll get more info. I have a feeling we're on the cusp of it, and we're gonna learn more. Cringe McCringle says, when I searched up that Scorponok in my target device, it was only like $47.99. We'll confirm with you on Monday. Thank you, Cringe. Yeah, well, that's why, like, I'm like, $100, impossible. Like, for them to, like, Hasbro today to do $100 item that's not in the collector sphere, like $100 item, a Titan class, which is more of the collector oriented products. I get that. But for mainline, I mean, we've seen already how some of those big price point items, like the Rise of the Beast Ultimate Optimus, that transforming one, that went on crazy clearance and did not do well. And I'm not saying it's a bad product. It's kind of fun for what it is. Than one of those wacky auto transform things, but it wasn't worth the 100 or 150 that it was. I don't think there's a world for that really. So we will see. Motortron says lots of animal characters in it, and Takara is also making an animal-based line. Yeah, well, that's just it. You're totally right with that wild line that Takara is doing, and you got Mirage there. The off-road, the Optimus, it says here it's off-road, so it's clearly an off-road Optimus Prime. Maybe something that's in a jungle. Maybe that's something that's in a desert because it's not a traditional road environment. So it totally makes sense. The Megatron, it says bull. I think it might be bulldozer, but it could be bull. Could be a bull. It could be something like that. Snarl, Mirage, if he's not a Formula One, if they go with something else. Could be. Could be. You might be on to something there, Motortron. But we will see. This is something that the fact that we're now getting the price points, that we now have the listings, that we have like logos and stuff, this means we're going to be getting something soon. We already got our pretty much our quote live stream for December from Hasbro. So they're going to obviously be going on holidays very soon, and we're not going to be seeing anything until probably second week of January. But if they do plan to do any kind of reveals or updates or stuff, it will be the second week of January. So don't expect much from an official capacity from Hasbro anytime soon. But from the unofficial capacity, who knows? Who knows? Something from a factory might find its way into the hands of photography. So stay tuned for that. Um, this one just dropped recently. Uh, PlayStation stores are now posting listings for Transformers Fall of Cybertron, the old PS3 Xbox game. So I know there's been a lot of drama, which I haven't talked about yet just because nothing is 100% confirmed, but we're seeing like the Reactivate game is in kind of limbo right now. So this is kind of good news if you still want to be gaming and playing Transformers. If we get a return of Transformers Fall of Cybertron with a proper online mode, I mean, that's fantastic. Because I still stand that this is Transformers Fall of Cybertron is the greatest Transformer game we've ever gotten, bar none. Like it's not even close, with anything else. So this is exciting news, especially. I mean, some people are worried, like, oh, hey, what about Xbox? What about this? I wouldn't worry about it. It's Activision. I'm pretty sure Xbox will probably get support and Steam and stuff like that. It's just that someone found a listing on the PlayStation Store. So we will see. I mean, if you're an Xbox user, maybe do some deep digging on your end and let me know what you find. Island Tolbert with the $5 super chat. You think Cyberverse is a sequel to Earthspark or a new thing? How do I say this? Um, People who have been working on it. I don't know this. How much could I say? People have been working on it, storyboard wise. Um, yeah, they told me that Earthspark is cooked pretty much. So that's all I'm gonna say. You know. So I don't want to really identify anybody and get them in trouble. But yeah, it's done. So this is like Cyberworld is going to probably be its own entity, judging from individuals who are currently working on Earthspark. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, and again, I want a fresh take again. I think Earthspark. I don't know. It's very middle of the road. I mean, I don't want to get on like a rant or anything, but it's just like it it went up to bat, it did its swings, and it got like a single, maybe a double, but it didn't get a triple, and it sure as hell didn't get a home run. And to me, like something that gets like a single or a double, for using baseball terms here, even though I'm not a big baseball guy, but you know, to me, it's something where let's see, give me something else. I don't need 2, 3 years of mediocrity. It's not a terrible series. There's some good aspects I like about it. I like Breakdown in the show. He's pretty cool as a character in Earthspark, but there's good ideas, but it's so middle of the road. that I rather just kind of cut it short and just give me something else and let's see if that has any momentum. So we will see. We will see what happens, but it is what it is. And then also reminder, it was the latest video that I did before our power outages here in Montreal. But the top 5 Transformer votings are starting as of this week. Go check out that individual segment that I dropped. Now, some people have probably misunderstood who are new to this. Just give me your best one singular Transformer of the year. What we do is we tabulate everyone's individual votes and then we put it together and make a top 5 from that, meaning like the number 5 most votes, 4 most votes, you know. So just tell me your number 1 Transformer of the year. It could be Legacy United stuff. It could be store exclusive stuff from this year. It could be Studio Series stuff from this year. It could be, licensed items like Super 7 or, even like other companies. The blockies, if there's a blocky that you really love that you feel should be the figure of the year. Store exclusives. I mean, the sky's the limit. There's so much stuff. If you question, oh, I don't know if this came out in 2024 or not, just give it a little gander. That way your vote doesn't get wasted. Because I know last year, 1 or 2 people out of like the 400 voted for items that didn't come out in 2023. And as a result, their vote didn't cancel because I said, oh, that's a 2023 product. And they never got back to me. So it was kind of too late. So it's something where just double check to make sure. There's a lot of different ways to tell when stuff came out, all different resources and everything. Unicron.com is one example, but or the wiki, I guess. So it's something where check it out, make sure, and give me your one singular vote. And again, yeah, like James said, no third party. That's a different animal. I'm just counting official Transformer product. Third party is a different animal. And in all honesty, like there was like third party was very light in 2024. I'll be honest with you. TFCon every year they have their third party product preview panel and it was very light on items. So I think the third party world is starting to slow down a little bit. Yeah, they're still going to exist. They're still going to fill the gaps in different areas, and I think upgrade kits will always still be a thing because people might not like third party, but they might want to improve figures that they already have. But at the same time, I feel like you know it's slowing down. So to me, it's like I haven't really been paying attention too much in every individual third party item, but at the same time, it's like I feel like there's probably not a lot to pull from to make a proper list, anyways. So it will be. It will be. Plastic Passion says, for us noobs, will you guys take a number 1 from our first vote? Well, what we do is, so if you are a YouTube member, like you are past Plastic Passion, or if you are a Patreon person, we do give you shout outs for your votes. So even if your vote doesn't make the top 5, we'll still give you a shout out. So, like, to give an example, Patrick Brown, if Patrick says, oh, my favorite figure is so and so, we'll still mention it even if it doesn't make the top 5. Like we'll give shout outs to the patrons and YouTube members, let the world know what their favorite was for the year. And then we do the top 5 with me, we do the top 5 with Jaws D, and then we do the top 5 voted by all the fans. Last year, I mean, we had like easily, I think, like 400 votes. So it was a really good, dense list. And what I like about it is it's very different than the official Hasbro voting, like the toy of the year vote that they always do, and they only have one vote, which is like, oh, toy of the year, that's it. And I really like because I like to believe that our audience is a little more technical and the stuff that usually makes the top 5 is a lot more thought through than just, oh, it's all obviously going to be the Commander again this year, like, and yeah, will the Commander probably make it this year? Probably. But there's a lot of other really great stuff too. So it's really cool to hear, even if like first place might be a Commander or a Titan or a Haslab or whatever, which in this case it actually won't be. This is the first year that a Haslab won't qualify because it's not even going to be out in time. Every past year, the Haslab item was released before the year was up. This will not be the case, so Omega Prime will not make the list. He'll definitely be a qualifying item for 2025's. But either way, go check it out. Individual segment. Give it a listen first if you're kind of still confused, and do your voting in the comments. And if you're a Patreon member, again, put your name in the comments beforehand, just so when we tabulate it, we know, it was a Patreon member that's voting, or just, send me a message through Patreon direct. That's usually the best way to do it. Go through Patreon and say, here's my vote, Proto. And that'll be that. That'll be that. Rudy Mac, Transformers 40th anniversary was a success. Well, I feel there was a lot of really great products. The 40th definitely gave us a lot of really good stuff. And I mean, if there's one big takeaway from it, yeah, maybe our TV series wasn't that great in Earthspark, but the 40th gave us some really good comic books through Skybound and a absolutely banger of a movie. So to celebrate the 40th anniversary and give us a movie that makes all the other Michael Bay movies kind of embarrassed, and the Travis Knight one, and the Stephen Caple Jr. one. And I'm not saying those are bad movies. I'm just saying this movie just crushed it. So we will see. We will see. It is what it is. But go check it out again when you get a chance later tonight. Give a voting, or later this week. Again, the cutoff is going to be on Christmas. So you know, December 24th at midnight, we'll do the cutoff, and then we'll tabulate the votes, and then me and Jaws D will throw a segment together announcing your vote by the fans, which special shout outs and everything. And then at the end of the year, I don't want to make any promises. I want to do like a special live stream at the end of the year too for you guys. So, we'll do that also. James Hopkins doing a worst five. You know what's funny with that? I've always thought about doing that, but in all honesty, because people have asked me, like, what's the worst Transformer of all time? And I always go, if you leave out like GPS and stuff that really is out of their control, like, I'm not going to blame something that suffers from yellowing or GPS. Those toys were never designed with the intention of that. But I mean, there's very few Transformers that I'm like, oh, that's the worst ever. You know, like there's a few maybe like Star Wars Transformers during that era that had bad design cues and broke out of the packaging, but in general, not many, not many. Maybe, you could pick on like a Retrax from Beast Wars or something, but I mean, there's a lot of really good stuff out there. There's a lot of really good stuff that there's not a lot of bad stuff that I could even make a top five, especially throughout the year. I mean, I can't really think of anything. We're going to pick on a Super 7 licensed item. So it's like, I don't know. But either way, check it out, guys. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And we'll go into sponsorships, and then we'll get into the giveaway, and then we'll get what we got this week. We'll take some more questions. John will tabulate some winners, and then we'll just take super chats the rest of the evening. We still got plenty of time left. So first, what our sponsors? I'm rocking their Starscream Catnip Bravo today. Symbiote Studios plush pins and t-shirts going into the holiday season. Get yourself a Symbiote Studios plush. This is just some of the inventory that's available on their website. Of course, they got a whole bunch more that are coming going into 2025. Pretty exciting stuff, actually. They're already working on their San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Those sell out every show, so that's a given. Like if there's an SDCC exclusive, get those while you can. But again, plush pins and t-shirts, symbiotestudios.com, and of course all the other Hasbro brands. If you are a pony person, you're probably in heaven right now because of the amount of stuff that they're putting out. So pretty good. Snell's World with the $5 super chat. Can you talk this doing into Autobot City as a Haslab and have a spot for a retooled Metroplex to attach? Well, I mean, think about, like, you have to understand, like, to do something like that is some really like big brain thinking in a lot of ways, because like imagine they do a Haslab, and the Haslab is made to be compatible with something that came out, and this is crazy when you think about it, over 10 years ago. Like that's, I don't know, that wouldn't be something I would suggest, like you wouldn't, that's really, you know, because you're doing an Autobot City, hoping that you have people that didn't get that first Metroplex from Thrilling 30 when Titan Class first created, but yet you're going to have an aspect of it that requires Metroplex for people who didn't engage. You know what I mean? It kind of shoots yourself in the foot. I mean, if you did an Autobot City, it should be just a standalone item that does the best Autobot City it could be. You know, the problem is I don't think Hasbro wants to do big items anymore. I think I said this before. I'm not confident in those numbers that they put out for Unicron. I think Unicron maybe made, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it didn't even get those numbers. That's just my gut. It sounds like I'm a conspiracy theorist, but it's like I feel like Unicron didn't get backed properly. And but they just said, you know what, we're so invested in this. We already like advertised it at all these shows. We brought it around. The product was done before the whole thing was done. When you think about it, like, all our other Haslabs, we've never had a 100% finished product before even the backing was done. But Unicron was done before it was done. What's up, Aaron? So it's something where because of Unicron's lack of success, if Unicron didn't bring in the peeps, how is a Metroplex at that size going to do it? And you could argue, oh, well, Proto Man, just do it at Titan class then. Then why not just do Titan class? Why are we going to put it behind a paywall where they're going to charge you $40 more because it has a glossy box and a stand? Like if Star Convoy taught us anything, is if you don't put it in a glossy box with foil on it and give it a stand and a chair that you're not going to use, it could be a retail product, you know? So, and you don't need to pay the up price of $20 to $30 more. It's just how it is. I'm hot and cold about Haslab. I feel Haslab should exist for the really impossible stuff, but I don't think they're even going to want to go in that direction. So we'll see. We will see. Stay tuned for that. I mean, as much as I don't hate what they did with the Omega Prime, but that is an item that does not make sense for Haslab. That could have been retail. And I feel a lot of people that would have loved to engage with that could not because of the Haslab tax, as I like to call it. I mean, Hasbro's sending me one, yay, but it's something where if I wasn't being sent one, part of me is pretty happy with the original I have. I have like both for like I have like the Japanese version car robots, the American version with the different voice box and different paint deco with the Autobot logos on it. And it's something where would I have gotten this one? This one wasn't that much different. And I don't know. It's just me. I mean, how important is blue bolts to me? And a little Titan Master that doesn't have a giant robot with it. So, or in this case, a headmaster, but either way. Let me know what you think about that. It's kind of a hot topic, but we also have the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. We have a brand new segment, like I said, recorded. Hopefully, I'll have it done. Again, I'm trying to get it done. Ideally, I'd like to get it done by Tuesday. um, I'll try to get it done by Tuesday and put out a nice little tight segment that we put together. So stay tuned for that on the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Go check that out. And then, of course, Aaron has a brand new book. We got a super chat, which we'll get into in a moment. But thank you for the super chat, Twins Corner. We'll get to that in a moment. We got Aaron's new book that you can pick up right now from archermonster.com/shop. It'll also be available at TFCon LA if you're going to be going there in the next couple months. But otherwise, you can pick it up online on his store, 36 full color pages of glossy goodness. We also have the Posca paintings. Some of these have probably been sold since then, primarily because we have even more stuff. So here's some new additions to Aaron's store on archermonster.com/shop. He put the little inserts for different Transformer packages and gave some painting on those if you want to have those. He has a brand new Skybite, aka Gel Shark, and the Transformer crossover Venom. He has also some cool trading card stuff with individual art there. Hey, Red Alert's back. Why not get some nice art with that? That's also on the store to check out. And he also has get yourself a loved one or someone the ultimate present, the highest level, the museum level paintings, as I love to call them. Those are also available on his store. Check out the individual tabs on the left to toggle and find those. The Unicron, very movie inspired. The tidal wave, the Megatron from Armada. Here's one that he gave me a while back. Beautiful black light, Roddy, looking real good. Aaron even put the year, and he signed the back too and everything. So, these are the real deal. Really cool stuff. So check those out too on archermonster.com/shop. Give the Transformer fan in your life the ultimate present, a one of a kind piece made just for you. So check that out too at archermonster.com/shop. We got a super chat from the Twins Corner. Will the Axelon or Darkseid be Haslab, perhaps? Again, like if they did the Axelon or Darkseid, just do it as a Titan class. Just put that as a retail product. I feel there is just enough Beast Wars fans that you could get away with doing an Axelon. Look, look. Here's the way I look at it: the Titan class, right? Arc, right? Let's take the Arc Titan class. It's this big, right? And that's supposed to fit full size Generation 1 Transformers. Now, the Axelon has to hold the Beast era Transformers, which are smaller. So if they do a type, like if we got a Axelon that transformed, but it's smaller than the Arc, it actually makes sense. It should be in scale. So that new price point that we have with Star Convoy, aka Star Optimus Prime, if the arc is like this, but the Axelon is this small, and it transforms into something that's like a commander leader class, it kind of makes sense. This is Optimus Primal, this is Optimus Prime. So if you kind of scale it with the ship, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? So I still think you could do the arc with this new price point. You could do the arc, you could do the dark side. Excuse me, you could do the Axelon, you could do the dark side at the new Titan class price point, because those are smaller ships too. So that's the way I see it. It would be silly for them, and of course they're going to try. Oh, you do it as a Haslab, and then we'll include little figurines and a stand for the ship when the ship is flying, and we're going to include 17 blast effects to pad it out so they could ask $200 for it. Where that even if it was at the modern Titan class, you could just pay $159.99 or $169.99 or whatever it'll be. I again, and Princeton just said it as it was going to come out of my mouth. Giggity. I feel that Star Convoy showed us almost how we don't really need Haslab for us. Like the items that we want at this point, we don't need Haslab unless they go to the crazy Unicron levels again. If we get a Primus, okay, that makes sense for Haslab, because no washing machine bowling ball is going to work in retail. You can't pull that off, But don't tell me like, oh, we're gonna do Haslab Road Caesar, and tell me that could not exist in the retail space. While on the flip side, look at all the product they do put out that is appropriate for the retail space. So you're trying to tell me like Ferrac is for the retail space, or some of those others, like those make sense? And granted, yes, it's a repaint, but or even like, and again, repaint or retool, like it's, like something like Straxus, like you're trying to tell me those make sense? And yeah, some of those are store exclusives, some of those are convention exclusives, some of those are web exclusives, but I don't believe that Haslab exists because of obscure characters. And then you turn around and do Optimus and Ultra Magnus. Come on, you know? It to me, it's like I think at this point, I don't think they were truly aware of what Haslab should be. When they did that Unicron, like when that Unicron first hit, that was the John Warden era. And then when they went into the Mark and Evan era, that's when they started pivoting towards that more commander-ish scale, as I'll call it. Now it's obviously what a modern Titan is, and then who knows what the next pivot will be. But I just, you know, and yeah, and why lag why? I'm going to read what you wrote there. I wish it could do Marvel Haslab route and use Haslab as a base for a mainline like this 97 Sentinel. Yeah, people who got that Haslab Sentinel and then they saw what they did with the Sentinel afterwards for X-Men 97, and people in the Marvel community were going like, wait a minute, then why does Haslab exist? For lights? For an LED I'm not going to use? that I'm not even going to leave in the toy because I'm scared of it burning it out, you know? Niagara base. Yeah, I would dig a Niagara base, but again, who wants Niagara base except me and like 5 other people? Joseph Reiter with the $5 super chat. Rewatching season 3 and 4, I assume of Generation 1. What a dope Galvatron is compared to Megatron. Can you remind me what finally happened to him? He's not in the Japanese series. He's not? Yes, he is in the Japanese series. He was in Headmasters. Uh, the belief is that when he was thrown out of Unicron in the '86 movie and landed on uh, Char, he got all covered in lava and it drove him crazy. Obviously, the changing of voice actors and the different interpretation by those voice actors. Leonard Nimoy went for a more cold, calculating kind of character. Frank Welker just kind of reverted into it's Megatron but crazy now. It's Megatron with a little bit of Starscream. So to me, it's just I really don't think it's anything deeper than that. And the Japanese version kind of followed suit with that, where the Japanese voice actor for Galvatron in Transformers 2010, which was season 3 for them, and Headmasters kind of continued that like craziness. You know, his ultimate goal was to turn Cybertron onto himself and become a giant fat Galvatron. You know, so I mean, I know people who don't mind the change. Um, I mean, season 3 is very wacky to begin with. It was written by a lot of people who had not written the previous 2 seasons of Transformers. Flint Dille was involved with that. They brought in a few comic book writers to do some episodes. So it was a very different interpretation. Very, very different interpretation. But he was in the Japanese stuff. He was in Headmasters, not all of it, because then, I don't want to spoil on a 30-year-old series, but let's just say Zarek takes care of him, or Scorponok. And then he shows up in story pages afterwards as a Super Megatron. And then the manga's in G2, and the rest is history from that. But yeah, I just want to make sure I didn't miss any other questions. No, okay, I just want to make sure. But yeah, so there's that. So again, pick up some stuff from Aaron and everything. A lot of good stuff. Uh, let's go into. Let me just make sure John is available. He's paying attention. Perfect. So let's go into some giveaways. It's been a long day. So let's go into some giveaways. As always, the giveaways apply to our YouTube members, which are our lovely green names here, as well as our Patreon members. How this works is I am going to ask a question, and the YouTube members just answer whatever the answer for that question is. Patreon people, just put your Patreon name beforehand and your answer, so that way John knows that you are a Patreon person. Then he could cross-reference that and make sure. Uh, that's it more or less for that. Non-Patreon people and non-YouTube members could participate too, but they won't win anything. This is pretty much me trying to give back to the fans that have supported the podcast throughout the years. And what we have this time around, again, I wanted to do a little bit of a diversity of stuff. Again, brought to you by Bint Studios. We're going to have a Beast Wars Optimus Primal reissue, mint in box, nice and crispy on that one. We got a Star Raiders Voyager class Ferrac, if you want to get that one there. We have a Transformers 40th Anniversary Retro G1 reissue Bombshell and Ramhorn that's fresh off the shelves from Walmart. And if you want a giant, beautiful statue, we got Sound Blaster from Headmasters, no less, the Transformers Japanese Headmaster series. We got that one too. It's probably the most expensive thing here, actually. So again, this applies to our YouTube members and our Patreon members. We're going to be giving away 4 items again. Once again, we're going to be doing this all the month of December, just trying to give back to you fans and stuff like that. I believe everyone already got their stuff. I was surprised how quickly everything shipped, especially during the holidays. So anyways, this is a pretty easy question. When Soundwave died in Headmasters and he exploded and his head flew off, Who retrieved his head to then have him rebuilt as Sound Blaster? Which Decepticon retrieved his head? And I will wait in the meantime and get some water, and then we'll give you guys an opportunity. Hope that's not too hard a question. Thought it would be an easier one, but we will see. But yeah, we got some good stuff here. I wanted a little bit of Beast Wars, a little bit of Legacy United store exclusive, some G1 reissue. We got some statue stuff there. A little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. Ooh, I'm seeing some different answers this time around. Did I pick something a little tougher? Oh no. Crap. I thought that'd be an easier one. Darn. Oh no, John, we're in trouble. I thought I was asking an easy question. Damn. Oh, well, either way, there's going to be some winners either way, because I'm seeing some that are right here. Some are right here, so it's not too bad. Either way. But aside from that, um, we're going to be doing this all week, so just stay tuned for that. And again, if you are a Patreon member or a YouTube member, one moment, I'm going to message John, make sure everyone gets their fair shot, you know, at all of this. Yeah, it's from the Headmasters series. It was from Transformers Headmaster. I want to believe, what was it, episode 3, episode 4 it was. It was definitely before, spoiler, Optimus Prime died for the second time. Um but yeah. So it's something where you know, that's where it's from. So a nice diverse amount of answers here. I'm surprised how different the answers are. Like, some people are actually voting some non-tape characters. Here's a little hint. you know. So, and again, for the winners, if you are a Patreon member, just contact me through Patreon with your information so we could send it out to you. If you're a YouTube member, unfortunately, YouTube doesn't have a proper, I guess we could call it, like, messaging system. So it's something where you'll just have to, like, message me on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and we'll work something out there. That way we could get everything to you. I would love it if YouTube had some kind of way that people who are part of the membership system could essentially, you know, message me if they have questions or anything, but unfortunately that is not the case. So we have to use third-party stuff such as, again, Twitter, Instagram, uh, even I don't recommend Facebook. Facebook would not be the best way to do it. That's more of a privacy issue, and I know some people enjoy their privacy. So, but yeah. Okay, so I think we'll cut it off there right now, John. It looks like everyone got their answers in. So we're gonna give John's gonna probably need less time now because there is some wrong answers. But we'll give John, I don't know, 15 minutes or so to answer it. So in the meantime, what did we get this week? Two things came in the mail of notoriety. Finally got this beautiful baby. Um, Once again, one of these items that when I was at San Diego Comic-Con, I got the mess in hand before everybody, and I was super stoked about this. Dino King. I love items that historically the only other versions of them are ridiculously expensive, and this gives people an opportunity to get a Dino King that doesn't have GPS. The original Dino King, or even if you have, well, you can't see him because he's covered by the Energon box here, but um, Monstructor suffers heavily from GPS, and then the Dino King pretender shells, they'll get spotting and stuff, so you'll never get like perfect ones. And this is great. I love this. I'm probably gonna do. I want to do like a photo shoot, like showing because I have some of the third party ones. I bought the shells of some of the third party ones of these. So I'm gonna take some photo shoots of them showing the history of them, the original toy, the third party one, this one here, be pretty fun, but it looks so nice even in the box. What a beautiful little box set. I wish they would return to doing stuff like this. I understand the logistics of it and big expensive items aren't always popular in modern retail in the toy world today, but it's still nice to see stuff like this. It's very, very cool. Very G1 box. And then, speaking of pricey items, bada bing, MPG07 came in the mail, giggity. Um, and for people who are wondering who MPG07 is, it is the beautiful Diaclone versions, and I absolutely love these. Yamabuchi didn't come yet in the mail, so this one is here for now, but love it. People are always asking, how do we get bullet trains to happen? Like, how are we going to get bullet trains and Transformers? Brother, you just got count them, 8 different Transformer trains in the past 2 years. 8 of them. So, and that's not counting even what's happening with Shike Leon on the other Takara side of things. So, you good, and you getting them on the highest level. On the highest level. And these things, I love these. These masterpiece bullet trains and all the other trains through Raiden and stuff have been absolutely fantastic. So check those out too. But yeah, again, this one also, I love it. I'm kind of like I'm 50-50 with the dino modes because I would have loved them if they were in the colors of their pretender shells, but obviously because of the way they're molded, they wouldn't be able to have the colors of their robot mode properly. So they had to compromise and focus more on the robot mode. Yeah, like obviously some members do kind of look like their pretender shell equivalency. Oh, sorry about the gloss; it's not really helping, but some of them like okay, like Goryu for sure looks more like his pretender shell. But then when you look at stuff like Kakaryu, he doesn't have the greens of his pretender shell and stuff. And he was another one of those better known Dino Force members. So, but really good, really really good stuff. Those were the two. Those are the two notable things that came in the mail. I got like trading card stuff and everything, but we'll save that for another time. Mm. So let's we'll open it up to super chats and questions, and then John will send me a message when he has. Just looking at my phone now. John will send me a message if he has the answers yet. It's not the answers, the winners yet. Horned Owl, I got all 8 for Raiden, and they are awesome. I imagine they are. Like the way I would display it, honestly, I'm like iffy. Do I want to put the Diaclone combiner and then have the other individual members, like the 2 others, stand on the side, especially like, Shuki, but because I like Shuki's robot mode on his own. But I really also want to have the Doctor Yellow Yamabuchi, excuse me, uh, individually, and you can see them both. Like I'm here on the back here, I'll show you. It's like yeah, both of them here, you know. So I'm kind of tempted. Maybe I just want to have these 2 like that, but then do I want to sell myself short and not have that gloriousness? I don't know. I don't know. That's the problem with having masterpiece combiners. It's like you can't buy like 2 of each so you could have both of them because brother, you're gonna be broke. These are already expensive in my mind. Like this is like premium purchase for me. So I don't know. I could only get it once. I think the only time I ever bought doubles of masterpieces is obviously like Hot Rod related stuff, Rodimus related stuff, or the odd Beast Wars one if it was affordable, like Optimus Primal or Cheetor. I got those pretty cheap. They came out and then they kind of dipped in value. So I was like, I'll get a second Primal. I'll get I think Cheetor. Gosh, I got him for like $50 Canadian. It was from I want to say Chosen Prime had it at their booth. So didn't want to go home with it, I guess. Thank you, Orson. Um, Let's see here. T-Former still, I still need to get Gino and Yamabuki, excuse me. Uh, yeah, man, they're cool. They're really cool. I really dig them. I really dig them. I've always been one that whenever a masterpiece comes out, I really look at it hard because, like, you could chase that, chase that. Oh, I want to get the next legacy-esque Soundwave, but after I got the masterpiece Soundwave, it's like, where do you go from here? Like that thing is just, the masterpiece Shockwave is one of the greatest Transformers ever. You know, it's like how do you make that any better than it already is with all the accessories it comes with, the light up stuff on it. I mean, what a toy! What an amazing figure. Joseph Ryder with the $5 super chat. Just bought extra train bots myself. Can you explain why they have two that are not needed for Raiden? Well, no. So what they were doing was, and it's a shame because I don't think they're going to complete it. Um, they just wanted to do the Diaclone colors because the Diaclone colors are technically the original colors that we got for Raiden here, for Headmasters. But then they did like a second run of colors that never happened, and they took the like if I did a history video about it, but they took the original Raiden back in 1987. Well, 1987 actually dates back to 82, but 1982, and then they did a second color scheme where it's like, oh, what if we took Kaizen and made him red? What if we took this one and made it a Dr. Yellow color? Dr. Yellow is the bullet train that's yellow and blue accents. It's a very popular train. And they were thinking about doing it when they did the masterpieces. And then they got Yuki Ashima, who did the Kiss Play mangas, to kind of like, oh, pick two that you really like and do a little manga story. And of course, that's why he made both of them like female characters and kind of made that awesome. It would be cool if they did the other ones, but I think that they were already kind of pushing it by doing six trains. And again, it was something strictly for the Japanese market. And Takara's not very uh, transparent with their sales numbers, so I don't know how well Raiden did on his own, let alone these being exclusive side products. So it's something where I'm pretty sure Raiden did okay at best. And then these probably came out, and if '07 does and '08 does then they're probably not going to be, pushing themselves to do the others to make a complete set. So it is what it is. Maybe one day we'll get a complete set. I mean, the tooling is there. It's just a matter of doing repaints, but it's an expensive redeco. It's not like a simple deluxe class that you do a redeco, and even those don't happen sometimes. So to do redecos of masterpieces, you really have to have confidence in putting out that product. And maybe they didn't have confidence in it. Where are we at here? Mike with his YouTube member question: if Studio Series 86 Rodimus is a retool of the Kingdom one, could the robot mode need a new riff and the trailer be left alone? Well, I would personally, if you're doing a Studio Series Rodimus, you need to look at what Don Figueroa did with titaniums with the 6-inch, where he was able to integrate. He's right there actually. He was able to integrate the trailer into the robot mode. Look what they did with Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. You know, so I would like to see something where forget the Kingdom mold. By the way, the Kingdom mold sold very poorly. So to then revisit it, give it a slightly new redeco or a new head, and then put it out all over again would be kind of foolish. That thing went on major clearance. And when the Rodimus guy who loves Rodimus says, "Yeah, this product didn't sell well," it didn't sell well. I'm not, you're never going to get biased from me. Let's put it this way. If something didn't do well, it didn't do well. Rodimus sold very poorly. I like it. It's a good figure. I like that it comes with the Matrix blade and everything. Excuse me, the blade of Primus, but it didn't sell well. And so I think they should just look at what Don did, look at like how they twisted it. And there was limitations with titaniums. So obviously with modern engineering, the fact that it's plastic instead of having to cope with metal, um, they could figure something out. Have the trailer transform into the legs and everything. Let me actually, you know what? Let me pull him out. Giggity. Let me pull him out. Let me pull him out. and not knock everything over. You know, like they figured it out. They figured out a way to do that. You know, transforming it live. Obviously, like, yeah, look, the limitations of titaniums and their budget, they didn't tuck the feet completely, so it's just kind of like limited by that. That's about as good as it goes, and that's kind of garish, but I mean, they figured it out. Twist the head. Man, I probably haven't transformed this, no joke. No joke. I probably haven't transformed this in like almost like, geez, when did this come out? 2005, 2004? In a long while. But it's just, look, you see already what's going on here. So they could probably figure something out. They really could. And the reason why I bring that up is because, you know, in the show, in season 3 and in the 86 movie, you don't see no trailer just kind of come out of nowhere. You know, he literally, you know, he literally has like a roller situation, not a roller situation, an Optimus Prime trailer kind of situation where this stuff just kind of merges into him, you know, and you know, see what's going on here. I'm half done, but see, they pulled that off, you know. So, and that was through the limitations of what Don Figueroa figured out and the limitations of the titaniums that were kind of handicapped by the fact that they had to have metal and the budget that they were working in. So if they could do that there, and there's a fantastic third party one called Carry that also pulled that off. So I think for sure they could do some kind of integration, you know? Why would you? Okay, so Rodimus Supreme, why do you think it's a bad example? It shows that it could be done, but the point is that it could be done, and that was the but this was the limitations of this. You add a little more budget and you could do a lot better. Again, Carry. Carry is amazing. Look up Carry. It's a third party one. So I think it could be done. You don't need to have a big empty box, to quote Aaron Archer. You don't need to have a big empty box in the box that isn't going to do anything. Tell me the episode that Rodimus Prime's trailer was used individually as a battle station or trailer or whatever. I'll be waiting. Never. Never in a manga, never in a comic, never in a cartoon. It was toy only. That was it. Never anywhere else. So that's what I think. I think they could do it. I really do. Doesn't have to be like this. This is limited. But you give it a leader class budget, shrink it down a little bit, give it all that paint, it could be done. It could be done. T Forbers 2002, do you think Raiden could have been out in 84 85 G1? Oh, I think he could have. The stigma of trains didn't really exist back in the 80s. You're talking an era where Thomas the Tank Engine was very popular, coming from Britt Atcroft in Britain. Britt Atcroft was the producer for Thomas the Tank Engine. So you could have ride that out. Look, GoBots had Loco, we had Astro Train, you know. That was all 85, 84, 85-ish. Loco, I think, carried over into the 85 GoBot product before cancellation in 86. But, you know, it could have been. It's just there was already so much, you know. And by the time Raiden was decided to be added to the assortment of Transformers, like by the time Japan decided to even involve it, it was already 87, 88, and that was the end of that. You know what I mean? That was the end of Transformers. For them to like go out of nowhere and, oh, let's bring back these old tools and put them in when they were already moving away from that kind of old Diaclone designs and really making their own stuff with the Pretenders, the Micromasters, and later on the Action Masters. So, um, where are we at here? I hope I didn't miss anything. James, do you think they could keep it in scale like they did with Ultra Magnus? If they do a leader class, they could probably pull something off. The Ultra Magnus had to be a commander because they needed all that extra space and plastic. So I could see them do a leader. Doesn't have to be a commander. Excuse me, it doesn't have to be a commander guys. They could do it as a leader. Mike Prime 21, just curious. Evan was asked about a Studio Series 86 Rodimus, and he replied that it would be a repaint or retool. I'm hoping that the retool is a bigger robot. Well, again, see, if it's a repaint or retool, it's like they better not include that trailer, because that's a lot of extra money that people aren't going to need. But if it doesn't have the trailer, then it's also going to look really weird without it. So what is it going to be? They're going to just retool, repaint a commander class, give it a brand new face sculpt. And I mean, even the thing with Studio Series, and especially with this guy here, is that's some animation accurate looking stuff, you know? Let's take a absolutely banger of a statue of Hot Rod here. This is the Metal Force statue. This is 1-for-1 based off of the Fluoro Deary animation model. That's why, like, if you see the wheels, they're not colored in because that's how the animation model did it. When he was transformed, we kind of had to ignore those pieces. Where's this is a 1-for-1. It's easily probably the most accurate piece of Hot Rod merchandise based off of how he looked in the show. Pretty damn good, if you ask me. Yeah, yellow knees. I'm not a fan of yellow knees, but that's just the molding, can't be helped. And I'm not a fan of like the yellow up there. And of course, they didn't have the paint budget for the crotch. But otherwise, damn, they did a good job. Yeah, the spoiler could have been a little more angular, a little more down. And again, they didn't have the paint budget for the yellow again, but they knocked it good. Now, for people who have the Kingdom one, it's a fine toy. Don't get me wrong, but it's not screen accurate. It's not even close in terms of the proportions and everything. So, much like how I'm very disappointed that they made the 86 Galvatron just a straight up one from the Kingdom, I would not want that for the Rodimus. I think that there's more work that could be done. Or in my case, I'll just wait for when they do a masterpiece and then they'll knock it out of the park, you know. And yeah, we did get a Rodimus through Masterpiece MP09, and we did get a revisit of the Hot Rod in MP28. So, but I think we'll get a revisit, much like how Optimus gets revisited every couple of years. We'll get a Rodimus revisited, we'll get a Hot Rod revisited, and sooner or later we'll finally get a Masterpiece Galvatron. So, but right now, and he sits right on my computer. Right now, this is about as good as it gets uh, in terms of the animation model. But Studio Series 86 Hot Rod is pretty darn close. Uh, Patrick Brown, why was there a stigma for trains at all? It's not really a stigma for trains. It's just that trains are much more popular in Japan than they are here in America. I'm going to quote what I said in the panel that I did with Aaron Archer, and I'm going to quote it here too. And it's everyone right now. I want you to close your eyes and picture a train in your head. You just pictured a train from 1887 to 1920. And that's the problem. You pictured a chugga 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 whoop woo. You pictured Thomas the Tank Engine from the island of Sodor. You didn't picture a modern train. You didn't. You didn't picture a bullet train. And for the few of you that did, you're probably Japanese. So that's the problem, is that trains are different here in America. They're really just industrial. They're used for moving materials. In recent years, trains have actually been kind of getting a bad rap because of a lot of accidents and chemical waste being spilled. It's a whole other discussion in America. Where Japan, trains are a part of everyday life. The amount of people that get on a bullet train to get to work every day in Japan is like you getting on the bus, you know? So it's very different. And when you look at Transformers history of what trains have existed, you go, okay, we got Astro Train. All right. And then on the other side with GoBots, we got Loco, steam trains. Astro Train's a steam train based on an old steam train. Again, even Astro Train was based on an old ass train, you know? And then you march forward and then you get to Raiden, which again using old molds from the early 80s, which is a mixture of bullet trains and steam trains and stuff like that. Again, Japanese exclusive product, so because they love their trains. You move forward a little more, you had Six Train or Six Liner. Gosh, you could barely see him. He's next to Six Turbo and all of them over there. Again, Japanese exclusive Micromaster combiner team. It did get imported here later on through Universe, but again, Japanese stuff, all kinds of bullet trains, all kinds of mixture of other trains. And then it's bullet trains to the roof afterwards. JRX, aka Midnight Express, Rail Racer and all of that, their localization names, all bullet trains. Oh, hey, we're going to do Astro Train in Classics. Was he a steam train? No, he was a bullet train. Like and then of course Shike Leon, where Takara was just like, look, we're not going to do bullet trains and Transformers because of the issue with trains. We're just going to do our own separate transforming robot series, TV show, toy line, everything, just bullet trains. You know, Space Ghostal or Space Ghost with the YouTube member question. How long will be the rollout of the original 13 primes? They already gave the timeline. It's going to be 1 year, pretty much. I don't think we're going to get all of them in that year, judging by the lists that we got, because we don't got Nexus Prime on that. So I can imagine we'll probably see maybe Nexus Prime the year after, whatever they'll call it, because this is Age of the Primes for now. Obviously, they're going to call it Age of the Primes, the Second Reckoning, or whatever for the next one. This is the new imprint. We start with Legacy, then it's Legacy Evolution, then it's Legacy United. So we have Age of the Primes, vanilla. Then we'll have Age of the Prime something else, which will have the others the following year. But as it stands for just this year, at least we know Megatronus. We know we're going to be getting Solus. We're going to be getting the 13th in that of Star Prime or Star Convoy. We got a repack of Vector Prime. I know I'm forgetting something. Prima. We're getting there. The list also showed Micronus. The list also showed like the listings. Who else was on that list? I believe Alchemist was on there too. But we have no Liege Maximo, no sign of that anytime soon. So that'll probably be next year. They're balancing it. And again, if you're going to do Nexus and he's going to be a combiner, you need some limbs first. So you got to wait for those limbs to come out. So, where are we at? Ashnode, it's a steam train for me. I live in West Michigan and I see the Polar Express all the time and it still runs. Well, there you go. Ashnode, I'm telling you, I did that same test on an audience of people. It's on Aaron Archer's channel. Go check out the panel that we did together at TFCon. And I asked that question to an audience of 300 people. And I said, picture in your brain a train. I paused and I said, and everyone laughed because that's just how it is. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying that's just the Western mentality of what trains are. And it's, yeah, like Thomas the Tank Engine exists as a product in the Play School aisle at Walmart, but Thomas the Tank Engine has a huge following in its home country of Britain, you know? And it survives by that. And no one's turning Thomas the Tank Engine into a bullet train anytime soon. That's sacrilege. So they just keep that. And it has less to do with Thomas's design and more just it's a kid show, it's a cartoon show, and they just get away with it. But for the discussion with Transformers between that co-development between Hasbro and Takara, I mean, Aaron has talked about how like Mr. over here who's getting blocked, the conversation of like you look at alternators and you go, hey, Subaru Impreza WRX, no problem. Both regions, yeah, we want that. Oh, hey, some exotic European cars, sure, no problem. That's cool. Both regions, the RX-8, the Acuras, oh, great, yeah, we love those cars. And this is Japan and America. Oh, by the way, Dodge Ram pickup truck. What does that mean to Japan? A Dodge Ram pickup truck? Thank God it transforms into Convoy, aka Optimus Prime, because they would have never gone for that if it was any other. If it was Huffer, they would have not done it. You know? So like that was a compromise. Like, ooh, Dodge Ram? Well, good thing it's Optimus, so people will buy it based on it being Optimus. And it ended up being it didn't even get released in vinyl tech. It ended up getting released part as Kiss Play. So they had to put a cute little girl with it too to get it to sell. And then instead of getting that, you got that. Kiss Play. You know? So now I just messed up the camera. But that's always been the problem. That's always been the stigma that exists. Well, Sarah, where is my leader, Don Figueroa Bomber Opt? We're gonna create drama for poor Don. Don already is not happy about that, and then Hasbro's gonna throw it in his face and make a product. I don't know. I don't know. Let's transform Mister back here, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, anything is possible now. It's just a matter of everyone playing nice. Uh, Time of the end. Proto, you sure Star Convoy will be the 13th Prime? The packaging pic of the 13th Prime shows a Power Master Prime. So, my theory with that, okay? My theory with that is everything that you're seeing, those golden statues there, um, those are the 13 Primes as they were back in the day, right? The problem is that the 13th Prime is whoever is the Matrix holder at that time. One second, just transforming this guy. Simon Furman confirmed that when he was helping with the Covenant of Primus book, the idea of the 13th is whoever's the Matrix holder. That 13th Prime is the chosen one. So Prima had the Matrix first, which was the creation Matrix, made it the Matrix of leadership, and gave it to the first 13th, which was, I mean, Zeta Prime in Transformers 1, whatever he will be called, that Power Master looking dude. Because think about it, right? It looks like Star Convoy in terms of detail, but the chest is people think Power Master Optimus Prime. But if you look at his legs, he has the shoulder cannons. So the in-lore explanation is when when you get the Matrix of Leadership, you are the 13th Prime, you are the chosen one, and you undergo a transformation. And it's something where that's why Optimus is what he is. Look what happened with Rodimus. And people who are not worthy, it doesn't work. If someone who's not the chosen one who has the Matrix, it's not going to work for them. Look what happened to Scourge. Ultra Magnus, it didn't really affect him, but it didn't do anything either. When Galvatron put it in his cannon, the ghosts of the Primes came out to haunt him. So it's something where then you take the Zodiac energy that Diatlas got from the center of the earth and fused that with the Matrix of Leadership, and it made it like steroided. And that first 13th Prime, his exoskeleton was superimposed. And oh no, did we end up getting a whole bunch of gifts again? Rudy Mack, you're amazing. Whole bunch of people just became YouTube members. Well, that means they're also going to be able to participate next week in the giveaway. So that's kind of what's going on with that. Is now getting to what you're saying, is that guy who's in that painting there in the statues, is he going to get a figure? Maybe. But currently right now, the 13th Prime is represented through Star Prime or Star Optimus Prime, Star Convoy. So we will see. We will see. But that kind of covers that. The lore of it pretty much. And we have a ox designed Obari-san with a mix of Don Figueroa. I always kind of liked it. Not a bad figure. I mean, again, it has the limitations and issues of the titaniums, again, having those wheels tap over there because they can never really sit flush. It's kind of floppy because it is what it is. People always wanted the return of diecast, and we learned very quickly through alternators and titaniums how, maybe not so much. We got a super chat. Oh, wow, we're gonna be getting this for a bit. We got a super chat from Mototron Prime. Proto, do you think Pretenders could have done as a kid gimmick subline with simple transformations and inner robots added as armors? What was that line that Marvel did that already kind of did Pretenders not too long ago? I picked up the Thanos. Like Marvel did, I think it was the Marvel Mech line. What was it called? Marvel Mech, something like that. I think Michael Koo's in the chat. I think he'd remember it. They did their version of Pretenders before even Transformers did, and they were pretty large. They were like this big, and it was like an armor that then you put the figure around. Mech Strike, was it Mech Strike? Something like that. Someone in the chat will know. And I mean, it worked. People bought it. They then did a second line of Mech Strike stuff. They did a mobile game. They did a whole bunch of other Mech Strike figures. So clearly that idea had a little bit of legs. I think personally, I think you can do Pretender shells. You just can't do all of them. Like you could get away with the Dino Pretenders and having the Mech. No, I don't think it was Mech Tech. It wasn't Mech Tech. Mech Tech is Transformers. I think it was Mech Strike or something. I'm talking the Marvel one. Mech Tech was a Transformer concept. And keep in mind, like those Marvel items were Hasbro items. So it's like it's clearly people in the office playing with those ideas still. Um, but like I could see them doing like these guys, right? If they came with dinosaur pretender shells. You could get away doing dinosaurs. You could get away doing, the mega pretenders and having vehicles and stuff like that. But could you get away doing Metal Hawk? Okay, dude in armor, cool. But then landmine, dude in armor, cool. Cloudburst, duded armor, cool. Like, and it's just really color differences. Yeah, there's intricate. I could barely see them, but there's intricate details between the bunch, but not enough that it pops on a card back that you could convince someone, especially the way card backs are now. I wish I had one nearby, but here I'll just use this you know, where like only like half of the pretender shell will be showing and the rest of the detail is just washed out. And yeah, you could say, oh, the cross sell and everything on the packaging will do it. But I don't know. It's a tough one. And I love pretender shells. Don't get me wrong. I love, 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 love pretender shells. But it's tough. It's tough. Um, I think who was it? It wasn't Kojin Ono. Was it Kojin Ono or Yuki No, one of the designers for Masterpiece did an interview and they talked about what he would like to see next. And he's like, every time I mention Metal Hawk, it gets shot down. So the Takara side of it doesn't want pretender shells. So it's like, ooh, that's on the Masterpiece level, mind you, but it's like it's very tough. And the truth of the matter is the decoy armors, I always have him nearby. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. These guys, I loved these. I loved these to death. It was like, these were so cool and they didn't sell. These sold so poorly. A cheap, small little price point like this, and it sold poorly. They could, like, it's like, oh, hey, it's a pretender shell, but it also, if you want to really like extend it more, it could also be a Titan Master head. And then also, it was a gun, so you had that extra play pattern. Like, they really pushed for it to try to give it some life where you could still convince a kid to want to buy it, but an adult could see a play value with it too, and no one showed up. These guys shelf warmed like crazy. I bought a ton of Metal Hawks for $1 a piece at one point. They were on major clearance at Walmart. $1 Canadian a piece. I have like 6 of them carded. That's why I have one here on my table because I just opened an extra one just to have near me at all times because I love it. I think it's cool. So it's tough. It's tough. There is a way to do it, but you can't do everybody. You could get away with a bludgeon, samurai armor, skeleton. That's cool. That's cool. That's Ninja Turtles cool. Monsters, beasts, like you could get away with that. But when you get to the Autobots, they're a little too boring. you know, for lack of better. And I love Metal Hawk. I love the character. I love the design. I love Lander, aka Landmine, and Master Force, and I love Master Force. But how do you make that stuff cool to the non-educated Transformer fan who's not hip with what's happening with the Japanese stuff and its origins? Keep in mind, Pretender shells became a thing when Transformers was on the major decline. Like, hey, remember Pretender shells? Oh, what year was that? Oh, 88, 89. Oh, you mean when Ninja Turtles was taking over the world and no one was looking at Transformers? That's really tough. It's tough. That's a boardroom meeting that, people would think I'd go into and go, "Oh, I'm totally for Pretenders. I love them." But then my business brain goes, "I don't know. I don't know if that would work." And my business brain is always going to override my passion. you know, that's going to come first. You know, giggity. $2 super chat from Havoc de Emo. I'm excited to see how they execute Liege Maximo. I'm kind of hoping if that box art is true to how it's going to look, I would love to see that G2 design come to life. But what does he transform into? It's got to be something organic, wouldn't you think? Thank you for the super chat, Havoc. Thank you, thank you. Um, Mech Strike Monster Hunter. Thank you, Mike. See, I knew it was called like it was Mech Strike because I have the Thanos one. Because the Thanos one, it was like the Thanos. Look up the Thanos one. It's a bludgeon armor, like it's a samurai bludgeon armor with a Thanos figure you put in it. It's the coolest thing. It's Transformer Pretender shells. But that's riding out the popularity of those designs of those Marvel characters. People know who Thanos is. People know who Captain America is, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Thor, Iron Man. You could get away with that. How many people, even self-professed Transformer fans, know who Cloudburst is? Doubleheader. Some of those really weird ones, you know, Crossblades. Talk about a trademark Hasbro hasn't used in years. Crossblades. How do you do him? You could get away with Thunderwing, Mega Pretender, has a vehicle mode. You could kind of do that stuff. Demonic, robotic kind of robot. Give him a big green matrix as a weapon. Those you could get away with. Some Kiat, just there he said it, have more of them, more like Thunderwing. Yeah, like there's certain characters you could, but the Autobot side is going to be totally one-sided. It's going to because it's all dudes. Like Crossblades is just a dude. He's just a dude. Where are we at? I don't want to miss any other questions. They're all firing here. Good stuff. Mark Morales with the $5 super chat. So Zeta Prime wasn't listed as Age of the Primes, but was featured in Transformers 1 and 4 for Cybertron. Where do you see Hasbro adapting him if we ever get a figure? Well, Zeta Prime's a weird one because that is a name that in different iterations, he has different kinds of backgrounds. It's kind of like in the War for Cybertron video games, Zeta Prime and Sentinel Prime were kind of the same character. But yet in Transformers 1, they're separate characters. And then Zeta Prime in the IDW books is another character that's kind of also devious. I don't want to get too much into it if you didn't read the books because there's a little bit of spoilers in there with Zeta Prime. So, and he's not related to the 13, so and same thing, the Zeta Prime that was in the War for Cybertron video games was, again, because it was like the Sentinel Prime character, it just was the guy before Optimus. It wasn't 13 related. Zeta Prime being part of 13th being part of the 13 is a very Transformers 1 creation. It's a recent idea. If it was my opinion, if they were mapping out the characters, I would have made someone new. I would have made a new one to kind of name that guy and not use something that's previously existing lore, but I wasn't part of that writing room floor. So I would have gone with a brand new name. I would have been like, I don't know. I would have looked at all the others and what they represent, and then him being the 13th, and go with something like, I don't know, just something that would have been much more vanilla encompassing of a matrix holder, you know, brilliant, brilliant prime. That's such a Japanese name, but like brilliant, shining prime. It's just something that represents the first of the 13 before moving on. you know, and then have Sentinel Prime go, I killed Shining Prime. I killed Brilliant Prime. I don't know. Trademark Brilliant Prime. Either way. Yuck, Pretender Shells, yuck, better, more Beast Formers. But yeah, I hope that answers that. Oh, and I missed a super chat. Mayoral Fabrication, $2. Derek Design Pretenders. What was he cooking? Again, he designed them. Doesn't mean they were going to happen. You know, he just designed them. He just wanted to like go, hey, here's what I could do. He made some really good ones. You know, oh boy, another 50 YouTube members. Mr. Tanky, Tankies, geez, Mr. Tankies. Oh boy, everyone in the chat's a YouTube member at this point. Goodness. Tom McNeil, I don't think they could do it in mass market, specialized in collector base. Yeah, no, yeah. If you're focusing on hardcore collectors, yeah, we'll appreciate it. But when you're talking, it has to be in every Walmart, every Target, every this and that. That's where it gets a little more dicey. You know, that's where it gets a little more difficult. So, Mr. Tanky, thank you for gifting how many? 50. Goodness. So we got 10 from Rudy Mack and then 50 from Mr. Tanky. And Larry still didn't get one. Larry, what's going on? Not that you need one, brother, but you know, it's just like, isn't it funny? 60 people got random gifted ones. Did Aaron get one? Did Joseph get one? I want to see who got it. Who also got it? Jeez. Almost everyone in the chat's going to have it. It's crazy. Anyways, let's go into the giveaway. Let's go into the giveaway. John has already said, Johnny boy, let's get into the giveaways today. The poor people that didn't get it. Next time, my friends. No, and Larry, it's totally random. Thanos snapped his finger, and you got missed twice, I guess. Oh, there's someone named Daimos. That's cool. That's my favorite of the Shogun Warriors and Super Robots. I love Daimos. So, let's get into it. John has... Oh, John, damn. At least one of them is going to be very happy, someone I know. So we got here 4 winners. We have a 5th one because that's just in case if someone doesn't go Ayo. So we're going to announce them in order of who was picked first. The individual who gets picked first, pick one of the numbers. We're going to put a number next. Actually, let me get my pen here. Hold on a sec. Totally forgot to get a pen. We're going to make a note, and then we go one at a time, picking which product you want, and then what is left over. So the first winner is, and make sure you're there, say hey yo and tell me which one you want, otherwise we got to move on to the next one. That's why we have 5 winners here, even though it's only 4 items. T-Formers 2002, you are our first one. That is one. T-Formers 2002, are you there? Are you there? TFG1 Mike! TFG1 Mike got membership. What's up, Mike? Shit, I didn't even know you were in the chat. You don't need membership. What's up, TFG1 Mike? Good old TFG1 Mike. Love that guy. That's hilarious. T-Formers, are you there? Are you there? Otherwise, if you don't... there he is. There we go. You want the Soundwave bust? Okay, so number 4. That, by the way, those busts are awesome. I have the blaster one. Probably should show that. One moment. You know, I'll show it next time. You got to remember, next time I'm going to bring the blaster one. It's really cool. It has like interchangeable heads and stuff. I love it. They're so cool. And it holds... The chest opens and you could store stuff in there. You know what's cool about that? Like, I know they call it a card holder, but you can like store secret stuff in there, like the keys to your house or whatever. Like if you need to hide something, no one's going to look at the Transformer bust, you know? So very cool. Okay, so you want that. Perfect. So you got you down. So number 4 is taken, the Sound Blaster. So the next one is Time of the End. Time of the End. You have 1. So you get a choice of 1, 2, 3. Time of the End. James, do you like the Golden Lagoon one? It's very cool, eh? I love them. I have them all. They're very, very cool. They're very cool. I dig them. They're you know what it is? They're cool polystone, huge busts, like they're big statues that also serve a practical purpose in your house. Like you could store things in it, you know? It's very cool. Oh, that one's clear? Oh, you know what though? I'm thinking the blaster because I think the blaster you kind of can't see what's inside because you know how Blaster's designed is for his chest. Maybe that's why. Because I store stuff in the blaster chest. I store his head in there actually. That's why. Time of the end. There you go, brother. Number 3. Okay, so you want the ram horn and the bombshell. Very cool. Again, guys, please contact me through any way. Time of the end, if you can, through Instagram and or Twitter. I will ask for credentials to prove that it is you, so be sure to get ready for that. And make sure you have your home address available. Mike Prime 21 is the next winner, number 3. So if you want number 1 or number 2, Mike Prime. There you go, Mr. Mike Prime. I believe I saw him there. Oh, yeah, there he is, Mike Prime. Okay, so Mike Prime, what do you want? What do you want, Mike? Yeah, the one that you got is super limited. No, we wanted to like the thing is these giveaways that we give. We want to give a little bit of everything. We want to give like a cool rare bust or a cool reissue of Beast Wars, you know, or something. There you are, Mike. Okay, so Mike wants the gorilla, the truck not monkey. So the last one who is going to get number 2, giggity, going to get number 2 on him. Who's going to get Farak is Bigum. Bigum, are you there? Bigum, are you there? Are you there, Bigum? Otherwise, we have a number 5 winner who will qualify then. By credentials, I don't want to say what it is because then people are going to try to fake it. When I talk to you privately one-on-one, then I'll let you know. Don't worry, it's nothing private. Don't worry. It's just there's a way that I'm able to know that it's actually you from YouTube and that's your account and someone's not faking to be you to get the prize. But just private message me, Instagram or Twitter, and we'll figure that out. It's just because I've had people in the past try to fake. Oh yeah, that was me. I was so and so. Bigum, there you go. So Bigum, you are going to get the Farak and just contact me. Send me an address and we'll have it along your way, sir. So those are the 4 winners today. Next week we'll do another 4 and another 4 different diverse items, a little bit of everything. Oh man, Farak is awesome. I'm surprised like that Cyclonus mold. Like let me tell you something. Talk about a sleeper hit. Talk about an absolute sleeper hit. That was what year was that? That was 2019. Our top 5 Transformers of 2019. He won by a landslide. Like it wasn't even close. The Ark and Rodimus didn't even like make it. But man, that just crushed. I think it had like 60% of the voting. And I didn't vote for it. Like me and Jaws D were like, wow, like, because I never got my hands on it, so I didn't know. You know, I was like, okay, well, how much better is it than the deluxe that we got all those years ago through generations? But man, they just crushed it. They just crushed it. Like people loved that one. I love it, love it, love it. But yeah. Um Oh, what was the answer? Oh, the answer's true. I didn't say it. So Laserbeak was the one who swooped in and got Soundwave's head to rebuild him. Some people were saying Buzzsaw, which I could understand the mistake. Some people were saying Ratbat because yeah, okay, it's later season episodes. Maybe Ratbat was the one who got it, but it was actually Laserbeak that swooped in, got his dead head, and then he was rebuilt into Soundublasta or New Soundwave, as he was called in the dub. Soundwave was now rebuilt as New Soundwave, using the Power Pack. We will stop them now. Protoman, what is for dinner tonight? So tonight, I am going super ghetto. Uh, you know what? I want to show you what I'm having. You're going to laugh. I want to show you because I picked it up and I was like, I got to have it. So if you are Canadian and you watch South Park, you always hear about Terrence and Phillip with craft dinner, KD. So I had a craving for craft dinner, right? And these are very cheap here. I just wanted it. I don't know why. It's not good for you. It's not good for you. Craft dinners, I think the iron's probably the healthiest thing you get from it. It's high in iron, but I just had such a craving for it because I haven't had it in forever. So I bought a couple boxes of it, and these are like $1 each. They're cheap, craft brand, right? But then next to it for $2, and I only got one box, was Super Mario Craft Dinner. And I was like, what? Here's a little bit of history. Super Mario Craft Dinner dates all the way back to the late 80s. When I was a kid, they used to have Super Mario Craft Dinner with the little Mario shapes. Obviously, these ones are a little different than the ones that I grew up with, the shapes. And on the back, they used to have a cutout trading card. And I still have some of those trading cards today. So they brought back Super Mario Craft Dinner. So Proto Man's going to be having craft dinner. I don't know why. I'm having pasta tonight, pretty much. That's what it is. But I'm going to be having Super Mario Craft dinner like a boss. It just I bought the regular ones because those were cheaper, and then like for a little more. So that's what I'm having. Costco pizza. I wanted to have Costco pizza today, but we were too busy. We were way too busy. Um. Oh God. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? I don't want to miss any other questions. By the way, this Legacy Ferric I bought today for 10. Oh, on Walmart. Well then, where do you think Proto Man builds up all his stock? We buy. You have to understand something. Mikey and Louie and us, we buy stuff throughout the whole year. When there's stuff that's on sale, we hoard it so that we could use it for giveaways later and stuff. And it gets used also with the TFCon charity auction. Sometimes a bunch of stuff gets donated there too. You know, if you could get a whole bunch of stuff for cheap and then pass it on to people later on, and it goes up in value maybe later, works out for everybody. Um, excuse me. What happened with that core class Dinobot? Sarah asked. The rumor is it's going to be in the next Target exclusive 4-pack, apparently. That's what I think it was JT Prime suggested that. There's like a 4-pack coming out, and the core class Dinobot is going to be part of it. So that's the supposed rumor. Mike Prime, I'm currently trying with some barley and protein pasta. The problem is, guys, like pasta, there's no way you could cut it where it's good for you. That's the problem. It's it's glue. That's what it is at the end of the day. It's glue. It's fine to have it once in a while. Like gosh, I don't even remember the last time I had it. But it's fine to have it once in a while, but if you have it regularly, it is not good for your system. It really isn't. Um, that is probably the most concentrated carbs you could have. Pasta and lasagna. And again, I'm not hating on it. Tastes great. Don't get me wrong. Tastes great. But when you're over 40, you got to start taking it easy. You got to pick and choose your battles here and there, you know. T-Formers 2002. I hope that Dinobot comes with the canceled Sure Shot. Well, yeah, supposedly that's just it. I think they said Sure Shot, the Dinobot, and what was the two that was supposed to come with? I forget what the two other ones were, the listings, but yeah, it's out there somewhere. Someone put those listings out there. Fawnheart, you do that for Toys for Tots. That's awesome of you. Again, we do it with TFCon charity auction. TFCon charity auction, if you look at a lot of like when you go to TFCon charity auction and you see all this boxed products, like all the sealed stuff, if you have like price memory, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that went on sale, that went on sale, that went on sale. Like when we do the big giveaway items through TFCon charity auction, it's like, oh hey, Black Zarek when he was on sale. Oh hey, the Ark when that was on sale. Oh, a masterpiece item when that went on sale on the Hasbro Pulse website. Like you figure it out pretty quickly. You know, you figure it out pretty quickly. Paul with the $2 super chat. Proto, are you a ham and pineapple pizza person? No, I am not. I tried it. So I have a friend. I don't want to name him. Um, he's actually quite a big YouTuber. Uh, he loves pineapple on his pizza. And he knew that a lot of people didn't like pineapple on their pizza. So he would purposely, when we would all hang out together as a group and we'd all get like a bunch of pies, and of course we would share them, he would get a pineapple pizza, right? Because he knew no one else would touch it. He'd get it for himself. Kind of selfish. Not going to name him. Some of you might know who he is. But, anyways, I don't want to name him. Don't want to throw him under the bus. Point is, one day I got fed up. Me and Josdy were at this party and we're like, F that, I'm going to have a slice of pineapple pizza, right? To me, I'm not a fan of it. It feels like pouring orange juice on a pizza and then eating it. Not that it's runny, but it's like that's what it tastes like to me. If I'm going to have pizza, I mean, a really good plain slice with some really good 3 cheese or a decent quality I think they call it Quebecois here, but Canadian, which is like Canadian bacon, sausage, ham, like a meat lover kind of thing, or even an all dressed with uh with mushrooms and green onions. Excuse me, green peppers, like and pepperoni. Like they're all great, but I'm not a fan of pineapple pizza. Like, like even a vegetarian pizza, like with broccoli on it, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But putting acidic fruits on a pizza, no thank you. Doesn't work. Does not work. Doesn't work for me. Hey, if you like it, that's fine. I think it's a weird contrast of tastes. I like pineapple on its own. I like pizza on its own. Those two don't work together. They don't work. I mean, ham works, but ham, like meat works on a pizza. Certain vegetables work on a pizza. Acidic fruits that have fructose in it and sugar, not so much. But I'm also a guy that's not a big fan of stuffed crust either. I think stuffed crust ruins the beauty of crust. Crust is supposed to be this neutral plane of existence, almost like a palate cleanser at the end of every slice. Oily cheese, oily grease, oily salt, palate cleanser of the crust. And then you go to your next slice. There's an art to pizza. After I just told everyone they should be eating healthy. Although pizza is not terrible. Ask any guy who works out. Costco pizza is a workout hack. If you want tons of protein easily, one slice of Costco regular cheese. Don't get the pepperoni one that has way too much grease on it. But if you get a Costco cheese pizza, you get like I think it's 21 grams of protein. Which if you're a guy who's working out, that's like it's a hack, you know. So very cool. Tomatoes are fruit dough. Oh, let's not get into this. Ugh. Yeah, but tomatoes are fruit, but it becomes tomato paste, and that's a whole other story. You know, like like marinara sauce. It's not like here's the thing. Not many people have tomatoes, full sliced tomatoes on a pizza. That's on a vegetarian pizza at best, you know? But I'm talking like a citric acid, vitamin C gushing out of a thick slice of pineapple on a pizza that's been cooked. Ugh, it did not do it for me. And I tried it. I tried it. What did I say? Neutral plane of existence? Did I say that? I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. What's the deal with blocky? Sarah asked, "What's the deal with blockies?" I never get transformers that didn't transform people. It's not so much the transforming aspect; it's more the assembly aspect of blockies. People just like build. It's building a transformer. That's it's kind of you get a little transformer in a box, and it's a building experience. You build the legs, you build the arms. Like here, let me take it apart just to show you, just to give you an idea. Like, you build it. It has like molded detail on there. So it's fun for people. And ask it's kind of the same question where, if you're a Gundam model kit builder, Do they make Gundam model kit? Excuse me. Do they make Gundam action figures? Of course they do. There's tons of different lines of Gundam action figures of those characters. Why do people buy the model kits? Because it's about the experience. It's about creating something, putting the stickers. Well, not so much in the case of blockies, except for certain price points, but it's putting the stickers, it's putting this, it's building the armor. It's more of the enjoyment of it. It's very passive. And you get a whole bunch of people together. They all buy a bunch of they buy a case of blockies. They all pick one and it's blind, and then they build it all together. It's a fun community experience, and I could understand why people love it. Why people love it, and I love block. But keep in mind, I'm a Gundam builder of almost, geez, when did I start? 1997, I built my first Gundam model kit. Prior to that, I built monogram airplanes, and I was like in grade school when I did that. But my first Gundam model kit I ever built, which was the Gundam Wing Epion in 1996, that my mom picked up thinking it was a transformer because Epion has a transformation element to it. And then I was hooked. And then the rest was history. The rest was history. She bought it from Chinatown. Good old Zex Marquise's Epion from Gundam Wing. And then after that, um, I bought some G Gundam stuff, the Maxer Gundam and the, geez, I'm trying to remember the names. What's the one that's the guy from France with the blue that opens? Noble Gun? No, Noble Gundam is the Sailor Moon one. But so I got that one just because they were cool designs, and Maxer Gundam kind of had a Optimus Prime look to him, the red with the blue face, you know. So as a lifelong Gundam builder, who loves just the experience of building kits. Now you add a transformer element to it, and it's a community element where we could all buy a case and then we all pick one and we don't know what we're getting and we build it together. Super fun. Super fun. I love it. I love it. I love blockies. I love the idea of blockies. I love that people are also loving blockies. Going to TFCon Baltimore and everyone was building blockies. Keep it up. Creativity, physical, engaging, forever, forever, forever. Keep it up. I want to make sure I didn't miss any other. Mayoral Fabrication Proto, what is your yearly Christmas movie? So my favorite Christmas movie of all time, and I will all like, my sister has a different answer. She loves the Muppet Christmas movie. The not the one with Scrooge. There was a VHS one where the Muppets met the Sesame Street people and they all met at the house of the guy from Fraggle Rock. People might know what I'm talking about. That's my sister's favorite one. My favorite one is George and the Christmas Star. It was a Canadian created animated movie about a guy who wanted to get the ultimate star for the top of his tree. It featured music by Paul Anka, for the few people who know who that is, who was a famous crooner singer back in the 80s and the 70s. Love it. Great little movie. Has robots in it. Has space travel. Fun little movie. If you could find it online, I love it. That'll. It's a pure nostalgia answer, but I have a lot of nostalgia for George and the Christmas Star. Easily my favorite childhood movie. After that, the original animated Frosty the Snowman, where he says "Happy Birthday" every time he gets activated with the hat. Have nostalgia for that. Again, that the one that my sister would probably pick, the Muppet one. Thank you, Shockwave. The Muppet Family Christmas Special. She had it on VHS. Must have wore the hell out of that. Loves that movie. Love it. Come down the holidays. Something like that. That's the opening. Patrick Brown with the YouTube member question. I legit are building the 1x44 real grade Epion right now. So mine was like the no grade, which was like back in the day. But yeah, it was also the 1x144, but it was the no grade. Yeah, the Epion is a cool design. Big old thing, has the whip weapon. Yours is way better because it's the 1x144 real grade. Technology has changed over the past 30 years and gotten better. But yeah, that was my first one. That was my first Gundam kit. And then I discovered original Gundam, fell in love with Char Aznable and Amuro Ray and those old school designs and Zaku's and The Gelgoogs and the GMs. Gosh, do I love GMs. GMs are so cool, or gyms as they're called, but yeah, I love those too. I don't know why people call them gyms because GM stand for General Mecha, so gym. It's not the gym. Anyways, gym is with a Y in it, uh, or a J. Um, Shockwave 75, it's lost media now thanks to licensing issues. Yeah, well, I mean, I imagine it's a crossover extravaganza, and if I remember correctly, it even features footage from Little Muppet Monsters, which is like the animated Muppet stuff, like Muppet Babies and everything. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, like it's something that definitely could not exist today because there's so much craziness. Twins Corner says, "Have you seen Klaus on Netflix, Protoman? It's awesome new movie for our Christmas tradition." I've never seen that one. I don't really have Netflix. It's if there's something on Netflix I want to watch, I just find it through other sources. Let's just put it that way. The lovely lady upstairs, there's a lot of Korean dramas that are Netflix exclusive, and then she just goes on a certain website to watch them for free. So save your money, people. That how much is a Netflix membership? That extra $14 a month you're saving could go towards a plastic robot that you'll have forever. So there's always ways you could put your money elsewhere, and streaming services is a good way to save money. Patrick Brown, it's taken over an hour on legs alone. Just makes it perfect. Yeah, no, but that's what I love about it. Like we have a Gundam meetup crew here in Montreal. We do it like, once every quarter. We do it like once every 3 months or so. Shout out to Young if he's in the chat. I know he pops in sometimes. Um, and it's all just the creative Gundam guys. And then we like every year, you guys see me on Instagram and on Twitter. Like when we do Montreal Otakuthon, which is the second biggest anime convention in North America, and Bandai comes down and does a crazy like Gundam history booth, and we have the life not life size, but pretty huge Gundam in person there. Like I work with those guys with that. Like I love Gundam. Love Gundam. It's the lore, the model making experience, the community, the creativity of making your own kits, you know? So when blockies became a thing and it got the Transformer community to do it because it's weird, the Farai model stuff, the Transformer community didn't really stick onto it. You know what I mean? And those Farai model kits are great. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's also because they're more stylistic interpretations of those designs, where these are a little more hard and true to them. And I mean, I love these. I think they're great. They're not super complicated for someone like me, but to get someone interested in model kit building and it creates a community aspect, fantastic. Fantastic. Love it. Sarah, happily in a year guy, and my Christmas present for me is four Night Viper Beast machines. Four Night Viper Beast machines. Well, that's one of our few Snake Transformers. So outside of what we got in Beast Wars Neo with Karada. Yeah, I love the Farai model kits. I love them too. I didn't get the Hot Rod one yet, the IDW one. That's coming soon. But I mean, that Windblade one was amazing. That RC one's going to be cool too. I love the girl ones. Hey, I'm not ashamed to say it. They look great, you know. So it's something where I love those kits, but I understand some people might be a little more apprehensive. Ooh, to build that, you know, it's kind of worrisome. Oh, I don't have any building skills. So you get blockies. You get the blockies, then you get the action blockies, which are the slightly more complicated ones, and then you could go from there. Tom McNeil, where are blockies sold in Canada? I'm out of the loop. Right now, unfortunately, the only place that I find blockies here in Montreal are bottle kit stores. Uh, Supposedly Walmart is starting to carry them in the United States. So hopefully those will start showing up here in Canada too. Uh, Barnes and Noble in the States also has a few displays for blockies, but that's more of a craft model kitty kind of thing. So, but otherwise, AliExpress. I mean, it's not the safest place to buy them, but that's the cheapest place you could buy them. I wouldn't recommend AliExpress personally, but if you are willing to roll the dice and buy a case for cheap, it's one place to go. Um, are Farai model kits put together like Gundams? Pretty much. They have polycaps. They have all that. It's a Gundam experience. Um, and some of them even have kind of like a inner skeleton. I know the Optimus did. The Starscream didn't. That I built the little bit of exoskeleton on the Windblade, but where do you find them in Ottawa? There, Larry. Where did you pick up your blockies in Ottawa? So if someone's in Ottawa, you could drive on down there. So, but like there's you could get them online. There's places you could get them directly through blockies. Even better. Thank you. There you go. And AliExpress. There you go. So I don't want to suggest AliExpress because some people have had experiences where they never got anything. Take care. Oh, Aaron, no, you just reminded me. Aaron just reminded me that we're calling it quits. It's true. We're at the 2 hour mark. We're at the 2 hour mark again. Thank you guys. We're pretty much done for tonight. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you, Rudy Mack and Mr. Tanky for all the YouTube members getting stuff. Thank you, Mikey and Louie, for the giveaways today and sponsorship from beautiful Symbiote Studios and Mr. Archer, and of course Hasbro. That's always been in my back pocket, chilling with me all these years. So always a good crew of people there. Evan, Mark, and of course Nate. Great stuff. BMAC, can't leave BMAC out. Although BMAC's going to be shifting over to other stuff in the future. Um, all those dudes. But yeah, thank you for all the love and support, guys. Again, if you want to support the podcast even more, we have our Patreon link down there. Come join the Patreon. I would suggest joining YouTube membership, but a whole bunch of people got YouTube membership. So join the Patreon, gives you access to the Discord. Come hang out with us, talk about Transformers, share stuff. We share sales. That way we could all save money together. Check out that too. And of course, you get access to stuff. Good news. I just want to give an update. Canada Post strike might be ending soon. So the Patreon people that are waiting for their exclusives from TFCon, they will be shipping out in the mail soon. I have had them in envelopes waiting for like 4 weeks now. So you will be getting your stuff shipped out shortly. Stay tuned for that. I also have a Patreon person that's going to be getting a gift box in the mail because they got one of the super fan tiers. So that will be getting out in the mail soon too. So stay tuned for that to your local mailbox. The strike is almost over. So yay! Just in time for Christmas. It's a Christmas miracle. Thank you everyone for coming. Thanks again for all the love and support. And once again, you guys are awesome. You guys are what keep the lights on here. I'm out of here. And like I always say, take care of your friends, your family, your loved ones. The world is not as crazy a place you think it is. And there is way too much cool stuff in this world to complain about the negativity. I'm out of here. Take care. Gonna have me some Super Mario mac and cheese. I'm out of here. Peace.